Good morning, Year 7. Today I'll be showing you how to make chocolate chip cookies, which I'm sure you are very excited about making. I'm just going to go through the ingredients first. I do have a class with me at the moment. You won't see them in the video, but if they have questions, I'll be happy to answer their questions, because it might be some of the questions that you'll be asking when you're watching the video at home, okay? Just before you come into my lesson, so you know exactly what to do, all right? Okay, so we have 100 grams of caster sugar, okay? I have 125 grams of soft butter. I have 200 grams of chocolate chips or chocolate. I have 225 grams of self-raising flour. I have 1 egg, and I have some vanilla essence, which I will be using 1.5 teaspoons of, okay? And all my equipment that I need a bowl, a measuring bowl, weighing scales, a spatula, I need a baking tray, and a sift, and a knife if you've got chocolate, okay? And obviously when you are measuring your vanilla essence, you will need teaspoons for measuring, okay? Right, let's start. So firstly, I will need my mixing machine, which I haven't taken out yet, which I will do quickly. Now our electric whisks are kept in our drawers, okay? They are on the last drawer, and the parts to it, the little whisks, are in the 4th drawer. If you do not know, the cupboards are all labelled, okay? So you will know where to find them. Okay, plug that in, turn the switch on. So firstly, so I've got my ingredient sheet here, which you will have as well when you're cooking, okay? So you can refer to this all the time. I'm going to put my scales on because my bowl is on here. I want to make sure it's at 0 grams, okay? I will be adding my soft butter into the large bowl, and I'll be giving this a nice whisk, okay? If your butter is hard when you get to school, we can place it in the microwave for about 15 seconds after you've measured it, just so it is that soft consistency, okay? Making sure we're using all of it. This is why we have a spatula, okay? That's 125 grams of butter. Taking it off the scale. Now I'm going to leave my bowl here because it helps me rest my utensils on, okay? This part's going to be a little bit noisy, okay? Because I need to whisk my butter and my sugar together, okay? That's already measured out for us. Miss measured that out for me already, okay? Now, time to make this nice and light and fluffy, all right? Making sure these are in place. The whisks, they go down at the bottom of the bowl, okay? One hand goes on the side, so you're holding it, making sure it doesn't go everywhere, and then you start whisking. Excuse the noise, I'll be quiet for a moment, but the machine will make the noise, okay? I'm moving my bowl around as well at the same time to make sure that I've got all of my ingredients incorporated, okay? Now that is on a high speed. To get the nice consistency, always whisk it really well. Please make sure you are writing the instructions, okay? The method. So we weigh 125 grams of butter and 100 grams of caster sugar in a large bowl, and then we whisk it to make it nice and light and fluffy. Lift it up slightly away from the ingredients and turn it off, okay? So it doesn't splatter everywhere. Popping it down, using the base of it. Sorry, we're not talking, please, okay? And then using my spatula, just bringing my ingredients together again, okay? Because sometimes ingredients can be missed, okay? When they're all around the bowl. Taking my machine again, placing it to the bottom, turning it on. Spinning my bowl. You see the colour of this has changed, okay? It's not so yellow anymore, it's turned into a pale yellow, yeah? Okay. That will do it. Now, when you are working in threes, what you need to be doing when you are cooking next week, you need to be sharing the job. So if one person is whisking the butter and sugar, the other person can be preparing the other part, like weighing the ingredients out, okay? Start to wash up anything that's in the sink, maybe putting other things together, reading through your instructions to see where you can help, okay? Right, 1 egg we need. Crack it gently on the table, not on the side of the bowl because we don't want the egg shell inside the bowl, okay? Taking 2 thumbs and breaking the egg in the middle and placing that into our bowl, okay? Making sure all that egg's out. Now this goes straight into the dustbin, not on the side of your surface because this is health and safety, okay? If you've left it on your side, this is health and safety, okay? We want everything clean and tidy when we are cooking all the time, all right? I'm going to wash my hands so they've got a little bit of egg on them. Just rinsing them really quickly. Okay. Right, now, again with my spatula, I'm incorporating all my ingredients from the sides. Okay. At this stage, what I will be doing is adding my vanilla essence. So it says 1.5 teaspoons. So I need to look for my teaspoon measure. Okay, that's a quarter, that's a half. So I've got 1 teaspoon here. Filling that up. Okay. Now I can use the half one, but because I've used this already, I'm just going to use this again. Just fill up half of it. Hopefully there'll be enough in this jar, which there is, okay? Enough for half, there we go. With my spatula, I'm just going to use the end of it to try and take all of that vanilla essence out, okay? This is why it has different sides of it, okay? Now, this can be washed afterwards, it can go straight into the sink. Closing my lid, health and safety, again, okay, making sure we're not spilling anything. Alright, that can go there. Now, giving this a whisk as well. Put it right in the instructions as well, okay? We'll always write the method when we're watching the video, guys, alright? Now, the importance of whisking the butter and the ingredients together, the butter, sugar and egg, is because it gives it that nice and light, fluffy texture when you're eating a product, okay? Especially a cookie as well. When you have a cookie, if it's really hard, it's not as enjoyable, is it? But when it's a little bit soft to eat, it's nicer. This is how we incorporate all the air into our product, okay? When we're cooking. They'll be done in time for you to try them today. Morning treat. Okay. Right, that's done. Now I will be sifting. Nope, sorry, no, I won't be doing that. I'm moving that to the side. Now, can anyone put their hand up and tell me what board I will be using? Only put your hand up, please, and not shout out. If I would need to be cutting chocolate. Excellent. The white one is for? A little bit louder? Beautiful, well done. Now, I'm just going to double measure that. I'm going to use that bowl for the sugar. Press 0 to get a 0 accuracy, okay, of the measurement. And I've got white chocolate here as well. I didn't have complete chips, so what we've done is we've mixed them up, okay? Get the chocolate chips in. And that's 200 exactly, perfect measuring miss, thank you very much. Now, I don't just want to chop these up, I'm going to move this away so you can see, miss. I will just be cutting the large pieces of chocolate that I've got, okay? Now, I want them to be not just amalgamated and melted all in, I want them to have little chunks of chocolate, okay? So, holding the tip of my knife and just cutting it through like this. Leaving them a little bit large. Little squares, okay, like this. Placing them straight into the bowl and doing the same. not too small. Concentrating when you are cutting chocolate, when you're using a knife, always, okay? Your eyes should be on the board. Okay? You want to leave them in chunks. So the little square I'm cutting into 4, yes? Question?
You cut it before coming to school.
Yeah, but you can buy chips, chocolate chips, okay? You get packets where you can buy chocolate chips like this. They're 100 grams, so you can get 2 packets. You can share that cost, okay? So maybe 2 of you can bring that in, okay? I'm concentrating, so I make sure that I'm cutting this correctly and also not cutting my fingers, okay? So you have to be careful. Right, so I'm going to move this bowl over here so you can see that I'm placing the chocolate chips, thank you miss, into the bowl. If you do not have chocolate chips, or you don't, sorry, no talking please, yeah? If you do not have chocolate chips, but you have a bar of chocolate at home that you can bring in, you can also bring that in, okay? So you're not wasting money. So what you're doing is you're utilizing what you have at home. So, like I said, there's 3 of you. Somebody can do that, making the mixture. Somebody can cut in the chocolate. Somebody can be weighing the flour, okay? There's always something to do. No one should be standing there not doing anything, okay? Now I have more control over my knife if I hold the knife at the top here and pressing down, okay? Because we're not cutting vegetables here. Okay, nearly done. Yeah, all done. Now, finish with my knife, so I'm going to place it straight into my sink. I'm going to place all my chocolate into the bowl. Moving the bowl closer and taking my chopping board and moving the chocolate with my hand, yes?
How many cookies is that mixed for?
Probably going to get about 14 cookies. Yeah, maybe, let's see, right? 12 to 14 cookies. Using the little chips that I had left. Okay, moving that all over here. Now, time to sift my flour in. Now, Mrs. measured this for us, okay, already. Using one hand tapping, okay, while I move this other hand, I'm shaking, tap and shake, okay? Tap and shake. Quite low down, not up here, where I want it to go everywhere. Low down, you're sifting the flour in. Again, I'm sifting the flour for 2 reasons. One, to make sure there's no foreign bodies in here, okay? Not like physical bodies, but like maybe they'll have, maybe an insect might have got in there, maybe a particle of the flour paper could have got in there. I'm going to make sure it's all clean, okay? And also, you're incorporating air, which makes the product nice and... hands up. Yes. Light and fluffy, okay? With my machine, okay? Placing it right to the bottom, making a bit of a space. On a low speed, okay? Binding this all together. Now, it can get messy, this part, so make sure your hand is here for protection as well, okay? I'm going to stop for a moment. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see, using my spatula, taking the flour to the centre. Again, go to the bottom. Got some runaway chocolates here. Okay, and I'm going to stop there. Okay, moving this to the side. Now I've got some chocolate and some bits on my table. Can anyone put their hand up and tell me whether I can use this or not? Yes? Raju? Yeah. If your table is clean and you've cleaned it before cooking, you can use this, okay? Because we don't want to waste it. Now, I know Miss has cleaned this table. She's anti-backed it, okay? That means it's got antibacterial spray and it's been all nice and clean. Now I'll be using my hand just to bind it together into a dough, but just very gently because it is a little bit sticky still, okay? There you go. Now that's your cookie dough. Perfect. Oh, got one bit of chocolate there. Now, bringing my trays. I'm going to wash my hands really quickly. Just giving them a wipe. And bring my 2 trays over. So actually what I will do is I will be basting my trays with a little bit of oil instead of using parchment paper, okay? So just reaching over here where the oil is kept. Unplugging my machine, and I'm going to take these blades off in the bowl, okay? Press the button at the top. This can go straight into the sink as well. Taking a small amount of oil, okay? We're not frying, we're just going to make sure the cookies don't stick, okay? A little bit of oil goes a long way with the brushes. A little bit more. Yes?
Can you make the cookies different shapes?
No, because this is a dough, so we're just going to stick to the round ones, yeah? Because it's not a hard dough, this is a really soft dough. Now, you have to be consistent in making your shapes. Now, everyone can do that. All you need to do is get a ball of dough, okay, and place it onto your tray. And they have to be same sizes because we're going to be cooking them in the same temperature, so you want them to cook evenly, okay? Taking a small amount, making sure they're all the same, not too big, not too small, okay? Using your eyes to check sizes. Can you see? Sure? Okay. We writing this down? Yeah? Writing the methods down? Beautiful. Making sure there's enough space for them to grow as well, okay? Because what they're going to do is they're going to be flattened a little bit when they cook. And give that a little bit more space. And because you've got 2 trays, if I think that I can move it along and give it a bit more space, I will do that in a moment, okay? So we've got 9 on here so far. There's 12. Making sure you use all of those ingredients in the bowl. Okay. And placing them here. Okay. Now, my cookies are going to go into the oven for about 10 minutes. They don't need to be in there much longer because they're small amounts, okay? They'll cook quite quickly. It needs to be at 180 degrees. We can put it into our ovens because the trays are cold. When they come out, me and Miss will help you remove them from the oven unless you feel really confident that you can do that safely, okay? We look forward to cooking with you next week and I'll show you the end product in class. Thank you.